Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Family Care Nutrition webinar. Today, our topic is on crucial brain foods for children. And before we dig into it, I would like to introduce our speaker for today, Elvis Ali. He is our resident nutritional advisor at Family Care Nutrition. He is one of the first full-time graduates of CCNM, and he is an author of several books and research papers. I'll let Elvis take it away. Sorry, one moment, please. It seems like we're running into some technical difficulties. One moment.
Okay, if we could start again, that's okay?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly fine,
Okay,
Elvis.
great. Well, once again, thank you for the introduction, Alvin. And I'd like to start off saying that I'm very thrilled to present today's webinar, especially for kids. And please remember, our kids are indeed our future. So we need to nourish and feed them well, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Well, let's just start off with the agenda, with the introduction here, that the seminar today is actually called Crucial Brain Foods for Children. Then I would like to discuss why certain brain foods are crucial, especially when it pertains for kids' brain development. Then I'd like to just go over a few types of what we call essential fatty acids, known as omega-3. And then I will give you some of the benefits of why certain foods are very beneficial for children. There's a topic called nootropics, which I will get a little bit into some definition. But in a nutshell, it's been shown that these nootropics are supplements that have beneficial effects specifically for the brain. Then I would like to just discuss an array of certain supplements that kids can add and complement their daily dietary intake. And then we will follow up with questions and answers. So the question comes, why brain foods for kids? Well, in a nutshell, there are three main reasons. Number one, it can help boost brain growth. Number two, it also is what we call the nutritional boost. We all heard the saying, don't leave home without breakfast. If you want your kids to be focused and be attentive in school. So from an academic point of view and learning, brain foods are excellent for kids, especially those who are entering school for the first time. It's very crucial to make sure they do have sufficient dietary recommendation to help them with overall brain function. Also, number three, and before I go on further, I just want to reiterate 11 key nutrients for kids. Things like protein, zinc, iron, choline, folate, iodine, vitamin A. We all know a lot about in the media today, vitamin D, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and of last but not least, the omega-3 fatty acids. These are the right foods which can improve the brain functioning, memory, and concentration. So it's very crucial that people make sure their diet includes this. To expand a little bit about omega-3 and omega-6, in a nutshell, we have something called what we take from our oils called the beneficial fats, which helps decrease inflammation. They are known as PUFAs, abbreviated PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acids. If you look at the left, when we take certain things like salmon, fish oils, avocados, other types of seeds or oils, they can be divided into two groups. On the left, you have omega-3, And that is further divided as it enters into the bloodstream and is converted into two things. Two fatty acids, eicosapenoic and docosahexaenoic acid, otherwise abbreviated as EPA and DHA. On the other right on the slide, you'll see that the oils can be converted into something called omega-6. And we have a lot of this in our diet. And that omega-6 is converted into arachidonic acid. Let's go on and talk a little bit more about omega-3. Omega-3, as you will see, is an essential fatty acid. And we need this for proper functioning. The body needs supplements and vitamins, and the body does not produce omega-3s. So we need to get this on a daily diet. You'll see on the next slide, I've put up a certain picture of certain different types of omega-3s, but you will see that fatty fish is a rich source, one of the best rich sources of omega-3s. And it's a major building block of the brain. So when you look at the estimation of how many omega-3s to omega-6, the estimated current ratio is approximately people intake more omega-6, about 10 to 40 times more than omega-3s. So we do need omega-3 and we do need omega-6. But then we have different types of omega, and we have 3, 6, but we also have omega-9. So when we talk about essential, it means that omega-3 and omega-6, we need this. But what about omega-9? Well, it's not essential, which means that the body could actually produce this naturally. So just in summary of the benefits of omega-3, 6, 9, it forms part of the cell membranes, supports mental health. It's even reported, like especially the EPA, it's very important for heart health and reducing inflammation. But the DHA is very important for two last things. It supports brain development in the infant, and it also promotes brain health. Now let's get us into the what we call, as Elvin said, dig into the presentation here with the types of foods. Well, there's about maybe I like to discuss the specific brain foods. Let's start off with whole grains and oats. Well, whole grains in a nutshell, things like breads and cereals provide glucose, the fancy term for sugar that gives energy. It's a great energy source for the brain foods. For the brain needs, I said, these foods. And also to note, whole grains also contain B vitamins, which are very crucial for the nervous system. So examples of foods like the whole grains and oats, these are excellent sources because they provide energy. We call it the brain, quote unquote, fuel. And they're also packed with a crucial amounts of fiber, which actually keeps kids feeling full so they don't snack. And theoretically, most kids will try to gravitate to junk food. But these are the things that are high in fiber that detours them to making sure that they are on track. And an excellent source of the oats and the grains, they are high in certain supplements, ingredients, things like vitamin E, B complex, and zinc, which helps the kid's brain work at their very best. An example of fiber is bran. The bran probably provides the most fiber in the whole grains. Next, you'll see vitamins. So vitamins are very crucial for enzymatic reactions, and whole grains are particularly high in the B vitamins. Those being things like niacin, thiamine, and folate, otherwise known as B3, B1, B2, B9. These are very crucial, especially as I mentioned earlier, for a strong nervous system. Then there's minerals that we can get from whole grains and oats. And a good amount of minerals are provided in the form of zinc, iron, magnesium, and manganese. We also have another term called antioxidants, and you find this in many compounds in whole grains. And these include fancy terms like phytic acids, ligands, and sulfur compounds. Very important to understand that antioxidants can mitigate a lot of problems of oxidization and decreases oxidative stress. And last but not least, protein. Protein is very important. We've heard about certain types of diets, but it's also important that grains, especially even things, just to digress, things like anything like nuts, things like fish, things like protein are very good. The next group of foods I like to discuss is berries. Berries are very high in antioxidants. An example here being anthocyanidins, and they protect your cells from free radical damage. And when you have certain things like anthocyanidins, they have properties too. Basically, the anti-inflammatory action, and they also have antioxidant protection. And they help to improve memory because they are packed with a potent amount of vitamin C, another great antioxidants. So antioxidants from the berries, be it strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, they are great because they are absorbed in the blood and transported to the brain where we need them as fuel, and whereby by having these amounts of antioxidants, they prevent the oxidative stress to our brain cells, especially when a child is growing up, very crucial to make sure you protect the brain cells. Well, according to the Canada's Food Guide, if you're not familiar with it, they recommend the food guide in Canada at least minimum 5 to 10 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. So it's important that we make sure that we eat a lot of foods that are high in antioxidants, because once we have an array of many different types of vegetables and fruits, it's important to understand that as a parent, and those of you who are parents, that these foods are very crucial to help kids focus in school. And also it helps them to keep them active and not lethargic, and also to help them develop and keep them strong. Vegetables also have an impressive amount of other nutrients that can help: vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, vitamin K from dark green vegetables, vitamin A, vitamin C, E, selenium, great antioxidants. And also to note, oranges and other foods that are very high in vitamin C can actually help defend your brain against damage from free radicals. And last but not least, they also have certain amounts of fiber that's very important for having regular bowel movements. The next group is milk and dairy. Three key things here. Number one, recent research suggests that children and teens need 10 times more than the recommended dose of vitamin D. Before, people did not understand the amount of vitamin D that is needed to maintain and the benefits of neuromuscular systems and the overall life cycle of human cells. But there's a tremendous amount of work that the nutrients that you find besides vitamin D, other things that are important: calcium, B vitamins that I mentioned before, and potassium. Number two, protein is very important, and high amounts in milk and dairy products. Why protein? Well, protein is necessary for many vital functions in our bodies. That includes things like growth and development, cellular repair, and also regulating our immune system overall functioning. So, the last one, I wanted to explain a little bit about alternatives. I did mention that milk is a very good source of many great nutrients, but there may be a few people who may have some upset stomach, maybe allergies to certain milk or milk products. The key thing I want to mention that there are other alternatives, and those very briefly, things like almond milk. For those who may be having problems digesting alternatives, there are things that almond milk can provide from almonds. They are low in calories, they're lower in fat, There's other alternatives like coconut milk, cashew milk, even hemp milk. For those of you who don't know much about hemp, HEMP, and soy milk, it's made from seeds and they provide a high amount and quality, high quality provided by plant-based protein to provide certain amounts of nutrients that we would otherwise get from other milk products. And last but not least, there's oat and rice milk. So with lean meats, for children, iron is very important. We all know the research. If you do a blood test and you are very low in iron, that people can go to their MD or their general healthcare practitioner. You could do a blood test and you could supplement with iron. So iron is very important. But having lean meats are very important, especially meat or other meat alternatives, that they are an excellent source of iron. They help maintain energy and help kids to focus in school, and a very good source of zinc, which is very crucial in memory. Nuts in general contain a high amount of brain boosting nutrients. So when you look into the ingredients in nuts, you find things like vitamin E. You have also the healthy fats and also other plant compounds. In regards to protein, not only from lean meats, there are things like nuts, there's things like eggs. Eggs are actually a very good source of several nutrients that's actually tied into brain health. Things like vitamin B6, vitamin B12, folate, and choline. Choline also is very important, a very crucial micronutrient that your body uses to create something, a fancy term called acetylcholine. That is a neurotransmitter that help regulates your mood and memory. So those are certain types of the lean meats and examples, also nuts and eggs. I wanted to put up a little bit of information and talk a little bit about nootropics. This refers to the natural or even synthetic drugs that people are doing research for the past few years that can show and boost mental performance. So there could be natural or drugs that have beneficial effects on the brain. It actually helps to improve mental performance and also boosts memory or focus, creativity, intelligence, and motivation, all needed by kids, especially in the early years entering school and also getting into the preschool, high school. So nootropics are very beneficial and they have an effect on our the brain. They also can help to boost memory and motivation, as I mentioned before. And I would like to discuss certain ingredients that are on the cutting edge of research, especially with natural nutraceuticals. And they include, because they have gained popularity in today's highly competitive society, and they're more focused on boosting memory, focus, creativity, intelligence, and motivation. And they are in the last bullet point, you'll see zinc, which is crucial for nerve signaling, magnesium, which is essential for learning and memory. There's lots of studies, absolutely, and no doubt about it, for calcium and magnesium for bone health, which is crucial for kids, and magnesium. But also for learning and memory, magnesium is very important in addition to heart health. Copper. Your brain actually uses copper that helps with nerves. And last but not least, iron. So, what are the supplements if people are not able to get your children on a dietary regime that have all these supplements and all these brain foods? Hey, there's a great array of line from All Mom's Choice and Maple Life Kids. There are things, and I'll start off first of the four. So, Polyvitamin Drops. Well, they have an array of many things, and you'll see the polyvitamin drops for children is convenient. It's in a liquid format. It contains a multivitamin way of many certain things, and specifically B6, B9, otherwise known as folate, and B12. They make up an array of the B vitamins with zinc, D3, A, and C. They provide energy, which is needed to develop new brain cells. So important to understand that nutrients are very key. It's like the building blocks. And when you look at the brain, there's specific things like B6, B12, folic acid, and the antioxidants. Also, by taking a polyvitamin drop, very convenient and very easy in a liquid format, it helps to develop bones and cartilage additionally. And the overall health of taking a good multivitamin, it helps with mental and physical well-being. DHA liquid, otherwise known, I mentioned before, hexanoic acid. They're an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids. Lots of studies show for overall cognitive health and brain function, as well as support in development of brain, eyes, and nerves. Important to understand that when you look at most of the research, when you hear the term essential fatty acids, earlier I talked about omega-3 and omega-6. Well, the omega-3 provides crucial amounts of DHA and EPA, and in the All Mums DHA, it's formulated and derived from a source of clean deep sea fish, sources of omega-3 fatty acids, and the ratio of the omega-3 vitamins for the kids are 300 milligrams of DHA and 200 milligrams of EPA, which is very important in maintaining cardiovascular wellness. And also, by the way, it's a great tasting formula. Probiotics involve a lot of research you'll see. And to note, both our GI system, gastrointestinal, we call the gut, and the immune system, they work and support one another. So there's a lot of research showing now how important to have a good gut, and you actually will find 80% of our immune that helps with our immunity cells, immunity, these are cells found in the gut. So from the research, it shows that probiotics have many benefits, not only for adults, but they're found in particular for children, kids, especially when it comes to two things, immunity and digestion. So the question comes up, but does this actually apply to kids? And another question, should kids take probiotics? And if so, what are the benefits? Well, from the research, it shows many digestive problems and disorders can be linked to imbalances of gut bacteria, which in turn can lead to other serious conditions affecting the whole body. Think kids with allergies, behavioral disorders, you hear ADD, hyperactivity, mood disorders, autoimmune disorders. They have all been linked to the health of the gut. So it's important to understand that as well as supporting the development of the immune system, why it's important and the benefits of taking probiotics. Well, in the early life stages of kids growing up, not only for the immune system, probiotics actually has been shown to play a major part of brain development. And during the first years of life, while the gut microbacteria becoming more diverse, a child's brain is also developing. So researchers have suggested that any disruption in the gut flora during this critical period can have a negative effect on the development of the brain of the child. So probiotics are very crucial. Calcium, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. I wanted to put up a slide just to help to educate you that absolutely number one, this vegan source of the vitamin D3 drops comes in a liquid plant-based flora form, I should say, of the fat-soluble vitamin known as vitamin D3. And by using an array of these supplements, we focus overall on the brain. As we had mentioned, these things are very crucial for the children. But if you look at each drop that you get in this supplement here, the format provides 400 international units of vegan vitamin D, and it's formed from lichen. It also helps in development and maintenance that kids need, not only for the brain, but for healthy bones as well as teeth. It supports the immune system and very important for overall health. And last but not least, this combination of calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D3 drops, it supports the absorption of other crucial trace minerals, especially phosphorus. So this is a great combination for immune and overall health with bones and immune and proper muscular functioning. So in summary, I'd like to say that there is a lot of research now because we need to have evidence why kids should be eating well. And if kids are not eating well, the research shows that if they don't eat well, they have something quote unquote things like brain fog when they go to school. They may have learning disabilities that you could just change your diet and have a profound effect on children. You'll find that now, besides kids, some may be picky. So it's very important that we optimize what our kids get, not only from their diet, but they can supplement with multivitamins, with vitamins, with trace minerals, and having things like DHA, probiotics, optimal nutrition, they could all influence a kid's overall demeanor, their emotions, their behavior. And last but not least, when you look at what you feed children today, I have always harped on keep away from a lot of sugar, keep away from inflammation, make sure the gut, the flora is well working on all eight cylinders because any gut dysfunction, any food sensitivities, or any process or dyes, or any things like the problematic things with diets, with fats, can all take its toll on the overall health and well being because our immune system, 80% starts in the gut. We have to understand once the kid eats well, and important to understand that if you feed kids well, if you nourish them, they get the proper amount of supplementation, they get an array of the fresh fruits and vegetables, they will all make a great impact on your child overall health and well-being. Thank you very much for all those who attended, and I'll pass it on to Elvin. Okay. I wanted to also say that for those of who have attended or are busy, have to leave, or other people who have passed on or let people know we have taped this, they could go on our website, familycarenutrition.com. There's also a phone number that we are available to take calls, 647 Again, 647 533 1229. You will more pleased to answer any questions in the future, any comments. I would love to get your feedback on future webinars, what you would like to hear, what we could offer. So thank you again once, and all of you who have taken the time to learn more about brain foods for kids.
For anyone who has questions, feel free to unmute, or you can actually type in the chat if you wish.
Okay, well, thank you, Elvin. I'm sure people can call in or they can send us an email or they could call us actually. So that would be great. Thank you, Elvin.
Actually, Jenny asks,
Oh,
can my kids take all of the supplements at the same time?
absolutely. I remember when we were discussing in pre-med before I got into my schooling that when I worked as a nutritionist and I talked to people when I was a naturopathic doctor, that a lot of people ask, why do we need to take all these supplements? Can't we just take one thing? You will understand that the body needs many things. It needs fats, it needs proteins, it needs carbohydrates, we need water. So we need many things as well as we need different vitamins. So people need to take an array of supplements, and absolutely we could take all these things which are very important because the body is made up of an array of very many vitamins, minerals, and trace minerals.
Sue asks, where can we buy these products?
Going online, you're most welcome to go online, get all our information on Amazon. So you can just go in and just, if you have a picture, you can see we have put the picture so you can know specifically what particular supplement you need, and you could order it at your convenience. And thank you, Elvin, for that promo code, the coupon. That would be great to help those who have listened on the webinar, so that can apply. And I believe you had mentioned it includes the shipping costs also. They don't have to pay shipping.
Yep,
Okay,
correct.
excellent.
So they can purchase it online at www.familycarenutrition.com.
Excellent.
All right, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for joining and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, all those who attended. Bye for now.